Look at all this mess. Look at this. Leftover bread. Do you like party, guys? I do. I do it as well. But like, after the party, there's lots to tidy up, isn't it? So that's my job. Because my name is Abigail, and I work with this family. They have been really nice to me. They've been kind. So I'm quite happy working with them. But they had a special occasion, celebrating. Have you heard about Passover? That was the meal they were celebrating because the Jewish people like us, we need to celebrate Passover because we want to remember how God rescued our people from the slavery from Egypt. All these hard times and dark times of their life, God rescued them amazingly with the miracles, and we just want to be reminded of it. So we celebrate Passover as Jewish culture, and that's a big thing in our culture. So that's my job. I tidy up after these feasts and celebrations. Have you heard about Jesus at all? I heard he was teaching people about God in heaven, and he was doing lots of amazing miracles around people. He was healing the blind people to see again and lame men to walk again. He was doing amazing things, and it was unbelievable, but amazing, right? And this room was actually used as for Jesus and his 12 special friends for the Passover. They gathered themselves together to celebrate the Passover meal, and I wasn't meant to, but I was curious to know what they were doing, so I just kind of peeked through the room. Please don't tell my master because I'll get told off. But when I was looking through, there's something really strange happening in the room. Because Jesus, who was clearly the leader of the whole group, who was sitting on the host chair, he was washing people's feet. I mean, that's something that I would do as a servant. A lowest person in the family would do, wash guests' feet. But why would Jesus do that? Do you think your teachers will wash your feet? I don't know, but like, that was really strange thing. I was ashamed. And he was talking about he came to serve. He was the leader of the group and came to serve. What does it mean? And he also claimed himself to be the Son of God. And that's even more. I don't understand what he was trying to say. Like, he carried on talking to his friends, and all this weird stuff I heard over was that he broke a bread, gave it to his friend, saying it was his body. And he was pouring the wine and giving it to his friend and saying it was his blood. What does it mean? Like, why would they say things like that? It's all crazy to me. And he said he had a kingdom and he had a throne in his kingdom. And I mean, he didn't look like king to me. He was a decent guy and wearing a nice robe, but he didn't look like king at all. But what was it all about? But the most strange thing was that he was talking about that he was going to die for his friends. And even more strange, he said he would come back to life after death. I mean, either way, it just didn't make any sense because, like, how do you know when you're going to die? And even you do, how can you come back to life after death? That doesn't happen. That's just impossible. He was talking all these things I couldn't really get my head around. It was a very strange experience to me, but he was really different. He was special. There was something extraordinary about him. There was something about him. It was all very strange. Oh, I need to just finish off this tidy up, otherwise I'll be in trouble before my master comes. I need to finish it off, so please go, guys, please. If you go, yes, I can get with my work, please, bye.
Who let you into my quarters? What are you doing here? I suppose now you're here, you better sit down. But be warned, I do not take questions. You better be quiet. My name's Clavius. I'm a Roman, a centurion, which means I command 100 men. Can you hear them outside now, practicing marching, getting even better at killing people? They love it. If I can't tell them to go, they go. If I command them to come, they come. If I order them to kill, they certainly kill. My commands are always obeyed. And I obey Pontius Pilate. Anyway, you ought to hear about this Jesus Christ, don't you? Well, here's what I know. It's the Jewish Passover. And Jerusalem was busy, but it was extra busy this year. People milling everywhere. There are always crucifixions going on at Passover time, and this year was no exception. But this one was peculiar, it was amazing. I shall never forget it. There were 3 men being crucified. That's fewer than usual. My men led them out of the city gates and up the hill they call Golgotha, which means the skull, which is a great place for crucifixions. One man was different, very different. They called him the Christ. He'd been beaten. He was in a bad way. So he couldn't walk, let alone carry his cross. So we thought, what do we do? We looked around the crowd, which was gathering, big crowd, and we found a guy called Simon. And we asked him very nicely. We said, Simon, if you ever want to see the light of day again, you will carry Jesus' cross. And funnily enough, he said yes. So Simon carried the cross up to the top of Golgotha, and then we very generously allowed him to go on his way. Get out of here, Simon, go. Anyway, then my men nailed Jesus down to the cross. But as they were doing that, I'll tell you the truth. I didn't understand this, but Jesus said, Father, forgive them. Forgive them? They're driving nails through his hands and his feet. I've heard people say some strange things when they're being nailed down, but never forgive them. Anyway, we put the 3 on the crosses and the day went by. And then an amazing thing happened at midday. The sky went black. It was as dark as night, but it was the middle of the day. And it stayed that way till 3 o'clock. At that point, Jesus was near to death. We knew that. But then he looked up to heaven. He called out in a loud voice. He said, my God, why have you turned your back on me? And then very shortly after that, he said in an almost triumphant voice, it is finished. And that was the last he said. Anyway, there were reports at that time of earthquakes, and graves opening, and dead people walking around. Now, my men, when they kill people, do not expect to see them walking around again alive. And also, in Jerusalem, there's the big temple, and there's an enormous big curtain hanging down from the ceiling, and it was ripped from top to bottom. What was happening? We didn't understand. Anyway, towards the end of the day, we had to make sure that they were all dead, because crucifixions have to finish on the one day. So the 2 on either side of Jesus, they weren't dead. So my men broke their legs. They wouldn't last much longer. And that was them done. But Jesus, he was dead already. Just to make sure that my men were good at this, one of my men ripped open his side with his spear. And then we knew that he was dead. No doubt at all. Anyway, some very strange things happened this day, only yesterday. And I have to admit that me and my men were terrified. Now, it takes a lot to terrify us, but we didn't know what was happening. And I even said to my men, and I'm telling you the truth here, I said to my men, surely this man was the Son of God. Now, they say Jesus never did anything wrong in his whole life. But could he forgive sins the way they said he could? Now, I'm a soldier and I've done lots of bad things in my life, but could he even forgive my sins? Despite the fact I was the one that killed him. I don't know. But you've interrupted me. I was thinking about these things, and you stopped me thinking about them, so it's time for you went. So go. Go now. Hurry. I need some time to think more about these things.
Oh, hello. Hello. My name is Mary Magdalene. I expect you're here because you've heard all about what's been happening this weekend. Have you heard about Jesus? Well, I knew him. He was my friend. My life changed when I met Jesus. I've been traveling around with him for about 2 years with others, learning about God and about how God loves everyone. And about forgiveness. How God forgives everyone. I know because he forgave me. You see, we thought he was the one. Jesus. We thought he was the Messiah, the one my people have been waiting for generations. And it was happening before our eyes. The miracles, the amazing things he taught us. But, well, then things didn't happen as we expected. It was the Passover. Have you heard about the Passover? Well, Jesus was celebrating the Passover meal with some of our friends, and I was with other friends. And after the meal, they said he went out to the garden to pray. In the middle of the night, Jesus was always going out to pray and taught us about praying and talking to God. But this was different. Because in the middle of the night, soldiers came out of nowhere to arrest Jesus. Like a common criminal, they arrested him. Jesus has never done anything wrong. I have done so much wrong, but not Jesus. He was perfect, and they arrested him and put him on trial and sentenced him to death. Jesus, my Jesus. And then they killed him. They killed him. Jesus, who had never done anything wrong, was killed. My friend, my Jesus. So what? Was it all a lie? All the things he had taught us? That he was the Son of God? Was it all a lie? After he was killed, they brought his body here and buried him in the tomb and rolled the stone in front. Early this morning, I came with some other women. We just wanted to be where we knew Jesus was. But the stone was rolled away, and the tomb is empty. See it for yourselves. He's not there. And then I heard a man come up behind me, and I thought it was the gardener. And he said, "What are you looking for?" And I said, "Where is Jesus? Where have they put him? Where have they taken him? Please tell me." And then he said, "Mary." And I knew it was him. It was Jesus, because no one says my name like that except Jesus. He's alive. He is not dead anymore. He is alive. Jesus is alive. I need to go and catch up with him now, and our other friends. I hope you find what you're looking for too. Bye.
Oh, hello. Oh, dear. If only you'd been here 5 minutes ago. You just missed him. He was here. Jesus was standing right here. And I better explain. My name's Peter. I'm one of Jesus' special friends, one of his disciples. And he was here. I'll tell you what happened. Jesus was arrested. I was with him with all of my other friends, the other disciples. And they took him away, and I'm afraid we were all cowards. We just ran away. And then I thought, well, I just can't desert Jesus. I must have to stay with him, or if I can. So I sort of followed from a distance, and I got up close to where he was on trial, and I could see him just up there. And I thought, well, I'll stay here, but I don't want to make a fuss. I didn't want to be arrested. I was frightened I might have been arrested and possibly even crucified. So I found a courtyard with a fire just like this. And I stood there, so I was near to Jesus, but I'm too near, if you know what I mean. So I was warming my hands, and this servant girl came up, and she said, "You're one of Jesus' friends, aren't you?" No, not me. I don't know him. I've nothing to do with him at all. So she went away, so I showed up warming my hands. And then a man came up and said, "I'm sure you're one of Jesus' friends. You talk just like he does." No, it wasn't me. No. I know nothing about this man here. I've nothing to do with him at all. Carried on warming my hands. Then another man came up and he said, "I know you're one of Jesus' friends. I've seen you with him." I said, "No," I said. "You must be mistaken. It must have been somebody else. It wasn't me. I've nothing to do with him. I don't know him at all." And, just then, I looked up and I could see Jesus, and he turned his face. He looked at me. Oh, no, what have I done? I've got him denied 3 times that I knew him. I was absolutely gutted. I burst into tears. I was a coward again. I ran away. It was absolutely terrible. And then things got worse. After they'd arrested Jesus and put him on trial, he was killed. He was crucified. That was the end of Jesus. Dead. Gone. No more Jesus. So, what were we going to do? So I just hang about with the other disciples, and we didn't know what to do. Decided eventually, I said, "Come on, we're fishermen. Oh, come on, guys, that's what we do. Let's go fishing." So, yeah, all right. So we came down to the beach here one evening, got into the boat, right out into the middle, and we fished all night, and we caught nothing. Nothing at all. Zero. No fish. Not even a little tiddler. So I said, well, that was a waste of time, wasn't it? Come on, let's go back to the shore. Just as we started to go back, I could see in the distance a man standing on the beach next to this fire. And he was shouting something, and he was saying, "Throw that over the other side." What did he say? I don't know. Then he said it again. "Throw your net over the other side." Throw the net over the other side. What was the point of that? I mean, we've been fishing all night. So I said, oh, well, we might just as well. We've got nothing to lose. Come on. So we threw the net over the other side. And couldn't believe it. It was bursting with fish, full of fish. I'd never seen so many fish. I couldn't even put it into the boat. So we got some of the others to come with me, put it all in, and then suddenly I got it. I know who that man is. I know that voice, and I know there's only one man who could have made this miracle happen, and that's Jesus. He's there on the beach. Come on, let's go and see him. So we tried to come in as fast as we could, but it wasn't fast enough for me, so I jumped out of the boat, ran onto the beach, and there Jesus was, by this fire, cooking breakfast. So we sat down and we talked, and he spoke to me, and he said, "Peter, you love me?" "Yes, Lord. Yes, I do. Yes, but I do love you." "Feed my lambs." "Feed my lambs?" What's he talking about? Didn't make sense. But then he said it again. "Peter, do you love me?" "Yes, Lord. Yes, you know I do. I really do love you." And he said, "Feed my sheep." "Feed my sheep?" What was he talking? I couldn't understand it. But then, third times, Peter, do you love me? Yes, Lord, yes. I really do love you. I love you. I love you, I really do. He said, feed my sheep. Okay. I didn't know what he talked about. But then I got it. I finally got through to my thick head that what he was saying was, I know you denied me 3 times. 3 times, do you love me? So I realised that because he asked me 3 times, do you love me? He was forgiving me for the 3 times when I had denied him. Oh, I'd be forgiven. It was fantastic. I felt great about it. And, well, I'm sorry, I haven't got time to hang around. I've got to go and tell people the good news that Jesus is alive. Hey, everyone, have you heard the news? Jesus is alive. It's never happened. Jesus is alive.